Hello YouTube. I'm gonna showcase the green brick of joy, or aoto, which some call it also. I think I've seen the green brick of joy is the most common name. It's marketed as a 2K. Yeah, it's more like 3-4, especially the polish. If you use a little more force and clean it often, yes, the edge can be like 2K, but just it was a little dusty, so. But yeah, it's more 3-4ish. The problem with this is the binder it's so extremely gummy. It feels like sharpening on like you've used like a glue pistol, like heat glue. It's hard just to get flat because it's so damn gummy, but it gives a extremely good edge in my eyes. But it's hard just to get flat because how gummy it is, even with a Toma. The binder is very weird on it, and I mean very weird, but it's a very good stone. But you need to take a little care so you don't gouge it. Now I'm just cleaning it so it's fresh with a coarse DMT, which is so worn it's probably more fine. I've had this for, I would like to say, 7-8 years use on the Atoma. No, sorry, DMT, and the same with Atoma. And yes, it looks like I'm removing much. I'm not. And again, thank you, Magnus. Look, great friend. I basically sold him this and then he gave it back to me. So yeah. I dragged off the edge, now it's flat. I like to show every step. I'm gonna show you its stall. If I can get some clean hands. No, it wasn't. It's dull, but it still cuts because it's pretty thin. So I'm not gonna do more than that, even if it cuts now, because it's a waste of steel. You see, I can make it cut if I get it started, but when I look at the paper, it's not a clean cut. This is the Tojiro Kiritsuke TP, which I bought for this. I'm gonna try to polish up a little and see what it does behind the edge. And I'm using just the weight of the knife here and just resting that hand. That's more than enough to release the binder, because this is pretty soft stainless cladding. And you see it shreds abrasive on soft cladding or steel. And if you let that dry a little, you see it starts cutting. But be extremely careful, because suddenly it wants to stick. And then if you do this and this again, even a dull knife will hurt you badly. Now it's near completely dry. You can see Then just add like 4 or 5 drops of water, maybe a little more down there. And continue doing this. And basically the slurry or abrasive or mud or friable abrasive, which it technically is paired with the binder, basically go into the spots. And how do I say it? Makes it easier. I'm not after a polish, I'm just after a tiny bit of thinning. Of course, the stone moves. Where did I put the folder? I'm pretty sure a brick like this would last a lifetime. If you wear out this stone, yeah. How do I put it? Then you sharpen much more than the average people. On the back side. Always like to thin a little and eke a little performance out of my blades. And you can see it's shedding abrasive. So. And on this, it's sand blasted soft steel. You could probably get a good finish if you wanted to. I couldn't care less about how a knife looks, so there. Going to the edge, remember I dragged it off. With this, I'm using like 100-150 grams force. Be careful not to plow the edge into the stone. Will gouge it. It's pretty damn soft. Think that's a burr. It's already worn, so it's not flat. That's how soft it is. Yeah. Again, 100-150 grams. I would not go much above that if you haven't got very, and I mean very good technique. 1 degree too high and you will slam the edge and gouge and snow plane this stone. Even I have struggles, and yes, I'm an amateur, I know, but it's a hard stone to get right, this. You see it's cutting pretty slow because it's a 3-4K. And I'm so desensitized in my fingers after the back accident, so there I can definitely feel a tiny burr, but let's keep going down here. It sucks to start deburring or finishing and then you haven't created the edge. Been there, done that. And look guys, this isn't removing much. Such a fine stone. The burr at the heel. Little more at the mid part here. Oh. Maybe I dragged off the edge more here because here's the middle of the smile, so it gets blunter here. That's why I hate, and I'm gonna stop blunting knives before now because it's so stupid and it ruins good steel, but it gives a stronger apex. I think I flipped it, so let's very light, like 50 grams light. The weird thing, even though it's 3-4K, it's, how do I put it? It's a little toothy, not much of course, but it doesn't feel as slick as like my Kitayama 4K. It's weird, I know. This is the lightest I can, just barely, not even the weight of the knife. I think that's good. It feels that way. And to me, feeling tells me a good bit how it feels on the stone. And there's kids upstairs playing, the ones I'm renting from, so if you hear kids screaming, it's because of that. It's every time I get a good edge of the aotoshi, it's more than good. This is even unstropped. It's yeah, it's just, yeah. It's hard to describe because it feels stropped and so refined and still with a little bit of bite. This is my strop. I can use the plain denim I made. I'm just gonna see again straight from the stone. That's basically as good as it can get. And this is a working edge. Oops, what happened there? Then I go in, and around. That's basically my test. If I can switch, brain fart. What's the word? Change directions in the paper. Of course, there it didn't go. But if I can, like, just move it a little. It's very good, this. The homemade strops I made. I hope Magnus is really enjoying the ones I sent him. I sent him because he has helped the channel. Dropping on one side, so if there is any bird, it's moving to the upside. I highly doubt there is anything, but just be really careful so you don't point the tip into the denim and break it off. Kiritsuke got an extremely defined point. I'm gonna try and have some fun. Again, this is plain strop, straight off a 2K stone. I hope I didn't bang the edge there. Let's do that again, and I'm so clumsy these days. Feels pretty good, this edge, so I'm gonna try first some what is it, wax paper you use on your food at work, etc. Well, it started and then just nopes there, and there it went. So a little struggling. Let's try again. Might be I have a little cotton on the edge. Let's try now. Yep. So, no problem there. That's one test. Let's use the other, because they are a little different, these. I can't remember which one of them that was harder. I think it's that one, but let's see. Yeah, that's 10 times easier. So, Magnus, if you want the hardest I found, England, this is extremely much easier, the one from Rema 1000. I do this very slow, just to see if I get any snacks. Then, Risla Red. I've done this before, but with a stropped edge. Oops. The hardest is to get it to stand. And we're still filming. Nope. Nope. And nopety, 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 nope. Oops, fuck. I cut myself. Which I say I never do. That's the exception. Didn't cut actually a fairly big one, but it's so sharp. So let's stick a little, do I have a band-aid somewhere? Stupid is stupid to do. Yeah, I can't find the band-aid, so fuck it. That will stop pretty quickly. I've said, and trust me, I'm not kidding, that's the first time I cut myself doing palm stropping. So the first time for everything. Let's see. Nope, it won't push cut this. But I like to make like a U. And if I can push cut or slide, I mean, from both sides, that's more than sharp enough for what I need a knife for. I care more about the slice than I do the push. Now look, I'm gonna create a bandage. There. That's my bandage. So let's try it again. And the worst thing is getting these bleepers to stand. Nope. I could probably do 3-4 drops. Nope. On the loaded strop, but I won't because this bite is perfect. Again, folding it and cutting it cleanly off. The tiniest snag there, can you see there? My finger is so. But I'm more than happy when I can do this. All along the edge without any problems. That's more than sharp enough for what I need. Again, let's try this. This was the harder one from Englamark. I'm gonna just compare them again for fun. Yep, this is much harder. Why won't it do it now? Probably could be difference from paper to paper. But again, if you can slice like this without any problem, can I do? I couldn't do curly cues, a little curly cue maybe. Yep, a tiny bit. Let's start the one from Rema 1000. And now it suddenly won't do that either. Maybe my palms dropping damaged it. I got 2 grizzly palms. But again, if I do like this with a little air, That's a more than good enough edge. I mean, to me, I don't need a knife sharper than this for anything. Outdoors or kitchen, it's like this will cut tomato skin, onion skin, whatever you need it all day long. And yes, it's fun the way I cut myself. I've said it, I never do. Well, now I can say once every 36 years. So, again, I like to show my mistakes. I'm not Superman. By the way, this is very good thing. It's like more plastic, cardboardy, thicker stuff, which really gives you a sense on the vibration and the force needed to do it very slow. I can feel it ever so slightly vibrating, which tells me there's a tiny amount of truth there. And again, my favorite is the Murray Carter 3-finger test, which isn't his test, but he's a seller, so that's a very sharp knife, guys. If you don't believe it, proof is in the blood. And yes, only amateurs cut themselves. I am one. So, thanks for watching. Bye.